I don't know. I don't know. No, the volume keeps going down, and then it keeps going to silent, and then it keeps going back up. I don't know what's going on. It's almost like someone else is messing with it. I don't know. Anyway, not a good time for that to happen either. So anyway, I went and I spoke to him. I spoke to toxicology. I spoke to forensic pathology. I didn't get to speak to the lady herself who did the initial autopsy because she doesn't speak to family, which I could understand why. He was my husband and I was having a hard enough time with it. So I can't, even imagine her trying to speak to family and deal with that on a regular basis. So I literally just needed answers. And my final conclusion from all of them was everything was within margin. He was taking the medication exactly as he was supposed to. It just turned out that the prescribing doctors at the time, which everybody was like, are you going to go after them? And I'm like, no, because it's not going to bring him back. I just went to them politely and I said, they were psychiatrists, and I just said, listen, I said, if you get these diagnoses in the future and you're gonna prescribe these medications, just know that they have an interaction that can cause fatal seizures. And so you might want to think twice before you prescribe them again to the people with those diagnoses. And they were like, oh, they were like, we didn't know. And I said, well, you know now. And so the thing I was trying to get to was, did he suffer? Because again, I'm the one that found him, and the answer was no. The answer was, it was quick. It had happened so quickly that he probably didn't even know what was going on and probably wasn't even aware. I did feel really bad though, because our poor girl cat was home with him alone. Granted, Abba was there, but still, it was one of those things where I had gotten down to the landing and I didn't even make the stairs before the poor little other EMT guy stopped me and said, I'm sorry, we've done everything we could. We think that it was earlier this afternoon that he actually passed. And that was another thing, because he was an EMT IV tech, everybody and their brother came out on the call. Everybody and their brother came out on the call. And we literally had to tell him to keep shutting the door because I didn't want Grizza to get out. And we had to put Grizza back in the guest bathroom downstairs. It actually was a full bath, but more than once, because they kept going in there to use the loo and they kept letting her out. Now, why they felt they had to go in there, I have no idea, because there were two others upstairs that they could have used, because this was the big cottage house in the JC. And so, anyway, and it was just one of those, you don't, you read about it, you hear about it, but you don't expect it's going to be your life. You just don't expect that that's going to be the case, and one thing I can say, my sister and I were at a Christmas movie that Matt and I were going to go see, and we were running late, and we didn't get to sit together, or no, this one we did get to sit together, and someone had come up to me from church, and they had, hey Cindy, they had come up to me and from church, and they had said, could you imagine going through this without God, without your faith, without Abba? And I said, honestly, no. I said, I couldn't. I don't know what people do who don't have him. I said, I can tell you this, I would have never gotten out of bed. I just wouldn't have. I can say this, there was never a day that I didn't get out. In other words, I got out of bed every single day. There was never a day I didn't get out of bed. Now, some of those times it might have been literally, I was just able to manage getting out, making sure that I spent that time with Abba that I needed and take care of the girls. But that was still, to me, that was huge comparatively, because I've heard stories of, there was one lady I knew, I won't say who, but she spent 3 years in bed after she lost her husband. So yeah, that's one thing I can say. I'm thankful to Abba that I was always able to get out of bed every single morning because of him. Was it easy? No, it was not. But I'm also thankful to you know, it was crazy because we were in between two churches at the time. So we had our Elizabethan Alliance Church, and we also had our Grace Fellowship Church in Johnson City. And then, you know, of course, you always have tons of friends and family. You know, there was a memorial service for him at the med school. They held one, and then there was also the main memorial service. My sister, I don't remember why, and I'm not trying to be whatever when I say this, so please, again, don't hear what I'm not saying and don't put words in my mouth. But my sister Lisa, for whatever reason, couldn't be there until after the memorial service. I don't remember why. I really don't. I've slept a lot since then. But I will say she came and stayed with me for like 2 or 3 months. It was a really long time. And I was very thankful. And it was great because, you know, everybody was there. But that was also the hard part, too, was everybody was there, and then all of a sudden they were all gone. And then it was literally just Abba, me, and the cats. And it was just, that was hard. That was really, really hard. And so I'll just take you through a bit of what it, you know, what it looks like picking up the pieces. I'm using my old stateside phone as a reference, so no judgment that I'm on the phone to do this. But it's not what you think, it's just pictures. It's just pictures. Pictures and memories. It's not like that. So one of the very first pictures I have on my phone is from 30th December 2009. There was a trip where they all got to go snowboarding, and it just says cute pick a mat in the description. Anyway, I didn't get to go because my boss at the time would not let me off, sadly, and it was very unfortunate because his mom had bought me new snowboarding pants and everything. So yeah, and then of course one of my favorite pictures, our wedding picture, 26 June 2010. That was one of our favorite pictures. We ended up using it in our Christmas card that year. Another exciting day, 23rd September 2010, when he got me Lone Wolf, my dream car, which was my gray Acura RSX 2006. He used to love to surprise me. We went to a little bed and breakfast the weekend of the 14th of May in 2011. Also in June of 2011, we got our picture taken for the church bulletin. Anyway, we always got to go celebrate. They did a cadavers ball, or cadavers ball, and we got to go to both of them. This was the second one. I went as a goth girl, and that was a bit rough because that ended up starting a period of our life that was very hard. We had our beta fish on Mom's birthday, 10th March 2012. Our lovely beta fish. Anyway, we got to take, we got to take an amazing trip in April of 2012 to Bethany and to Minnesota, and he got to kind of show me around. Let's see if I can find a cute pic of him. He got to show me around his haunts in Minnesota. And so that was a really sweet trip. I'm very thankful that we got to take that. We even brought Grizza's little fish along on the trip. It's the stuffed one, not the shiny one. Anyway, he knew I loved stargazer tiger lilies, so he always made sure that I had them. Anyway, he even ended up planting some for me in our little garden. And the crazy thing is, the next year, I really wanted them out back, but he wasn't there to do it. And all of a sudden, that next year, they came up out back by the steps in the backyard. And I can't explain that to you. I just can't. Definitely a military family. Definitely very patriotic. So he actually himself was in the Navy. So, you know, and this was hard too. We went in August, a friend of ours had a baby, and we both have been cats, not kids people. And so this is a picture of him holding our friend's baby. And all of a sudden he got baby fever on me, and I was like, that's not fair, because we had said we were going to be cats, not kids people. Hey Lawrence, thanks for tuning in. And so that was hard, because then I was like, are we changing our minds? Because we'd always said that we would try to stay on the same page as far as that went. So then we had decided that maybe we would try, and if we couldn't, that maybe we would adopt. So that was hard, because I had someone who ended up being an acquaintance of his not realize this was not a good question to ask, but after he had passed away, asked me if I was pregnant or not. And so then that was a whole slurry of emotions, because I was like, oh my goodness, am I not? Do I want to be? Do I not want to be? And then I turned out not to be. And we hadn't thought about making preparations for that going forward. And so that was really hard, and it was not a good question to ask. So if you know someone who's recently lost their husband, don't ask them that question. Also, if someone's had a loss, don't ask them how they are. That's the worst question you can ask. His mom had given this to us. His dad had made it. It was a sign that says the Baileys. We got it on in August and hung it up. It went from the living room into the reading/sitting room. It was a very open floor plan. I loved it. We both loved fall. It was our, favorite time of the year. And he also helped me start our pet sitting business. So the first summer he was in med school, because he didn't have enough going on, right? He decided we should make the pet sitting business official. And so literally that first summer he got it up and going and on the ground at a level that I never would have been able to. And he was also very determined that I should go back to school. And so he helped me get everything sorted with Austin Peay so I could go back to school at the university we had in the JC, which was East Tennessee State University, so because he wanted me to be able to finish. Because I had stood behind him for his dreams, he wanted to stand behind me for mine. So that was a little bit of the difference. He loved the Polar Express, favorite Christmas movie, and apart from Christmas Vacation, because he loved those as well, but because he loved that sense of humor. But he was very big about the first gift of Christmas, and I'll never forget that Christmas when he got the first gift of Christmas, and he brought it down and he put it under the tree, and it was a really big deal. And so I was opening all those Christmas presents on Christmas that year that he went home to be with Abba with my sister, Lisa. And the gift that got her was the first gift of Christmas, and I don't have it on right now, but it was a Pandora bracelet, because he believed that every woman deserved to have a Pandora bracelet. And he believed that the charms were important, and that they would tell not only your story, but your story together. And he believed that, you should get a new one for each, special occasion. And that really was what he believed. And so my sister was more moved by that gift, but he had gotten me the latest edition of Stage Management by Lawrence Stern, and that was what moved me more, because I had believed in him for his dreams, so he was letting me know he believed in me for my dreams, because I was going back to school for an undergrad degree in stage management, and then I was going to go on to graduate level for stage management, and because it was what I loved doing, and he believed in me, and since I had believed in him, he wanted to return the favor. This was 22nd September of 2012. We finally got our fire pit going out on the deck. We used to love to go out there and sit, enjoy the fire, and have s'mores. He loved orchids, and I saw this and thought of him and thought it was absolutely beautiful, because the blue, but also because the flag behind it. He also loved his girl cat. She was his baby, and he was her cat daddy. And, man, I tell you, I had to take her into the bathroom that night and explain it to her like you would a small child, because she was there with him when it happened, and of course Abba was there too, but there was no person to say, this is what's happened, or this is what's happening, or this is what's going to happen. It was really hard to surprise him with gifts because he always wanted to get them ahead of time. Like literally, literally he was like, well, he's like, I'll help you out with Christmas. And he's like, you can just wrap them. Or he's like, I'll have Amazon wrap them to save you the work. And you can just put special notes in them for me. Literally, because it's just, he wanted everything like yesterday. And he was really hard to surprise with gifts. And so he pretty much knew what was coming every time. But still, I managed to, his last birthday, surprise him with a remote controller, which was 6th October 2012, because he was big into RC. He was also big into photography, and this was one of the favorite pictures that he took of us. And so it was on the same day we were celebrating his birthday. We celebrated his birthday early because we were going to go out that night with his mom on his actual birthday. We used to love, whenever the weather would change, to make chili. And so, for my eyes' sake, let's see if I can put this back on. We both loved Halloween. We thought the idea of a sustainable, reusable pumpkin was a good idea. We both loved Mexican food. This is homemade chilaquiles. If you guys are familiar with Mexican food, you'll know what that is. We had planted a sugar maple outside the cottage in JC, and by the time that I left that house, it was massive. This is a clipping of it coming down so you could see the true color. It was just amazing. And he believed in celebrating Griz's birthday as well. They shared the same birthday month. Her birthday was 15th October, so there he sat in 2012 opening her gifts with her, like a good cat daddy would. And during one of our pet sitting runs, we discovered and rescued Hopalong Jack. We later got him hooked up with Tri-Beagles and got him a forever home. We got him a jumbo, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think, a jumbo Bobo, because he loved the little one. But there's Matt with him in our pet sitting uniform that we wouldn't have had if it hadn't been for Matt. This was the little Bobo that we had gotten him, and he tore a hole in it. And so we decided we had to get him a bigger Bobo. But this was the sweet thing. I had put a blanket down. I had the critters for the Halloween decorations in line on the couch, and came and put his Bobo in line with them because he knew that that's where the critters went. And I was like, oh my goodness. Here's another famous pot of Bailey chili for the cold weather, because we love to do that. Yeah, just absolutely loved it. Lots of pet sitting photos from all the critters that we would take care of. Sometimes you look back and you think, whose critters are these? And it's all from pet sitting gigs that we did. He was my number one fan. He was my cheerleader. He was Team Carla all the way. He had gotten it's crazy because 7th November that year, 2012, he'd gotten his honorable discharge from the Navy with 1 month into where, he would be going home a month later to be with Abba. Aaron and Jennifer, thanks for tuning in. It just, unreal, but he was always my cheerleader and champion. Like I was trying on new clothes and he was like, send them to me. He's like, I want it to be like I'm there with you in, the stall. And he always had such positive, compliments and such amazing things to say. And then this was getting ready for something to do with Twilight anyway, 15th November 2012 anyway, and he was so super stoked and ecstatic about it. The crazy thing is, he met me at my heaviest, but he didn't see that. He saw me for me, and he really truly believed I was beautiful inside and out, and he didn't see anything else but that. One of the last things we got to do right around Thanksgiving time, we had a tree in the master that we got to decorate together, which was amazing. He slept through most of it, God love his heart, but anyway, I ended up in that picture on the top, the picture frame that says Joy, I ended up putting a picture of us. And I literally used these lights as a night light until they went out, because it was one of the last things we did together. And I didn't take our tree down that we had done together for the longest time, because we decorated it together. And, you know, we had even put lights outside the house, and because he was really, you know, good and handy with stuff like that. And this is he's faking being passed out on the couch after being decorated, you know, too many decorations. And so anyway, and then of course this was one of my favorite decorations, Frosty the Snowman. But anyway, there's a picture of us from our wedding back there behind it, with a frame that says home, a candle for the fall, and a cross. It was one of those crackling candles that smelled like, or sounded like fire. And then our beach Santa with our picture from our wedding, our Trinity candle, and our wedding plate was on my grandmother's antique bookcase. And this is the picture I ended up putting in the top that's of the two of us. And so it just seemed appropriate. 28th November, we had finally made it to the pizza place in the JC that was Chicago dish pizza called Schmucks. I don't know if you guys ever got to eat there. It didn't stay very long, sadly. This is just one piece of Chicago deep dish pizza. It was amazing. Unfortunately, they didn't stay open very long. He was very excited for me and very proud, because we had gotten the sticker for the car, because I was getting ready to go back to school at ETSU, and I had gotten my ID and gotten registered and got my classes sorted and everything. That was all on 5th December. I was on a plan where I was working on trying to lose weight, and had lost quite a bit of weight, and that was my custom-made chef meal from Chef Anna. I would do bars and drinks for breakfast and lunch, and then I would do that custom-made meal for dinner. And anyway, I tried to stay on it, but everybody kept telling me, oh, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. And finally you tell yourself not to worry about it. And anyway, we had taken a cruise together, and there was a picture that was taken of him that was lovely, and he didn't want it because it was just him, but I ended up using it for the memorial bulletin, and it was this picture. It was a really, really good picture. And then of course his classmates wanted a ton of pictures, and so I set about trying to find, you know, the task of trying to put all the pictures together. This was his badge for his EMT Ivy Tech, and so I set about trying to put together a bunch of pictures. And so literally I've got a whole slew of pictures here that I put together to send to them. So we went to Applebee's for a meal before the main memorial service, and I don't know how this happened, but I ended up, I drove myself there, but I wasn't doing so great after the meal, and I wasn't doing so great with being able to drive back. And anyway, and someone had given me something, I don't remember what it was, to calm my nerves, and I had taken it, and driving with that was probably not a good idea. But there was nobody to drive me from Applebee's to the memorial service, which was not easy. I don't know if you've ever tried to drive when you're really, really upset, but it's really, really hard to do. And so, yeah, but thankfully after that, his brother Dave was in town, and so was his sister April, and so Dave ended up driving me afterwards to the next place after, so I was thankful. This is a picture from 15th December when my sister Lisa was there. She got Grizza to completely relax, and I'd never, ever been able to do that, and I was just like, how did you do that? There were so many flowers afterwards, it was just unreal. And then of course 2 weeks before he passed away, little bit was outside, and she kept showing up, and we kept teasing Grizza, your buddy's here, and she's like, she's not my buddy. And then the morning after he had passed away, he loved to feed the birds. I went out to feed his birds, and she was there, and because he and I had tried to before to pet her, she wouldn't have anything to do with us. But she knew I needed a friend, and she let me pet her. And of course, everybody told my stepmom, Glenda, and I not to feed her, but we didn't listen. And so a snowstorm came, and my sister was like, if you don't get that cat, I'm going to bring that cat in. And so got her taken care of. This is Little's. She rescued me. She decided to hide in the shelving at Banfield's at PetSmart because she thought they wouldn't see her. Matt's mom and I both had wreaths made for Christmas to remember Matt. I added the blue ribbon. It was Donna at Petals 111. I don't know if that's what she still calls it, but I did add the blue ribbon because it needed just a touch more of something. And so I tried to put together a little memorial for him on top of his chest of drawers. And so let me see if I can get the one. There's one more patch that's not in this picture. It's the St. David's patch my dear friend Lisa Marie gave to me. But it's got our marriage certificate, his Snoopy dog, his patches, his ashes, a picture of Grizz, his flag, a beautiful picture above it, and a picture someone made for our wedding. Anyway, I had created a little space up there. And then the only patch that got added was the St. David's patch. So yeah, it's honestly, without Abba, I wouldn't have been able to pick up the pieces. I ended up finding this, and I had to get it. It was 31st January. He used to always say to me, I love you more. So I found that, and I got it, and I hung it in the kitchen where I'd see it every day. These were his badges. This was one of his rescue badges. And then this was another one of his badges. And then this was the one he had made for me. Every badge he got, he was going to have me a badge made. My brother Dan and my sister-in-law Denise came at the end of January, beginning of February, and this is my brother Dan on the floor with Little Bit acting like a cat. So yeah. And then the picture I chose to share today, because I thought this is kind of sort of a perfect, this was his time machine for Apple. And when I shared that picture back in the day, because this was on 10th February, I said, if only, if only. My first trip ended up being on 11th February 2013 to go to a friend's birthday party. And this is Little's. And she's like, you are taking me with you, right? You are. And so we ended up doing, it was an X-Men themed birthday. There's Wolverine's claw coming out of the X. And I was a surprise. That person did not know that I was going to be there at all. So I was able to totally pop out and surprise them. So that was exciting and fun. I'd always wanted to do crazy things to my hair. And when I was working at Starbucks at the time, you couldn't do anything crazy to your hair. You could only have natural hair colors. Now, being a partner at Starbucks now, it's different. But my hair was very long back then. But what I finally did was I did an ombre where it looked like it was on fire. So there's my crazy hair looking like it's on fire. And I was at Waffle House, this 23rd February 2013, meeting my dear friend Brandy. And then I decided I needed to go show off back in 16th March my Mad Hatter skills. So I went to the costume shop in the JC and showed off my Mad Hatter skills because, why not? Then I decided that I wanted to dye my hair blue, TARDIS blue. So 19th of March, and of course this was when I still drank. I don't drink anymore, but this is 19th of March with TARDIS blue hair. I'm going to chalk it up to you do crazy things when you're grieving. Anyway, I loved Twilight, and so I had gotten Bella's bracelet and ring from Twilight. And, oh yeah, Doctor Who. I had forgotten about this. I had Doctor Who Monopoly. Yeah, I want this here, but it's so expensive. Anyway, 7th April, got Doctor Who Monopoly. And I also had Cluedo, which is Doctor Who Clue. I'm looking for both of those here, but they're really, really expensive. Dad and Glenda and I went up to Knoxville on the 9th of April and went to P.F. Chang's. There's a picture of them out front. And then, of course, oh yeah, I forgot there's Catopoly. I don't remember who had this one. Anyway, it had to be Glenda. But anyway, there's us playing Catopoly. I had forgotten that was a thing. Anyway, my friend Brandy had a invitation to a Mary Kay party. So this is 20th April 2013. So that's me with straight hair back to normal color, because you gotta eventually stop doing all the crazy colors, because not good things to your hair. I had gotten a Papazon 22nd April 2013. Dad came over to check it out. So this is Dad sitting in a Papazon checking it out. I missed that Papazon. And then there was 27th April 2013, there was the burial at sea. And I will only show you this picture just of the ocean. But that was his request. He wanted to be cremated and he wanted to have a proper Navy burial at sea, and that's exactly what we did. You should always, always, always have the conversation, even though it's not a fun conversation, about what someone wants to be done for their last wishes. It should always be a conversation that you have. That picture from the cruise, I took it and I had it framed and matted, and I put it in the office. And even though he didn't want to get it, I'm glad we got it. My first big trip was 3rd May 2013, getting ready to go to Israel. Everyone questioned whether I should go or not. And it's crazy because Matt and I were sat in church the morning the trip was announced. I'll never forget. And there's sirens, so we're going to stop and pray. I just want to lift up the person or persons to you on either end of those sirens and just ask for safety, guidance and wisdom, strength and endurance, patience, perseverance, and peace. And then above all, that your perfect and pleasing will and plan be done in and through the situation here on earth as it is in heaven this day, this night, in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, amen. We were sat next to each other that Sunday at Grace Fellowship Church in Johnson City when they announced the trip to Israel. And I had said to him, I said, oh, I really want to go. And he was like, I don't know. He's like, med school, residency. He's like, I don't know. He's like, and then trying to figure out which city we're going to be in and where the job's going to be. And he's like, I don't know that we'll get to anytime soon. And I said, that's okay. I said, that's all right. I said, I understand. And so I did not know that following 7th December, he was going to pass away and go home to be with Abba, but Abba knew. And so the trip came back round, and I just really felt that I needed to go. And so I kept praying about it and thinking about it and asking Abba about it. And Abba was like, no, yes, you should go. And so I went. I was one of the only people besides my dear roommate, Shelly Rose, who didn't have their husband with them, because it was mostly couples from church. And so, like I said, it was Grace Fellowship Church, Johnson City. It was their Templeton Tours, Holy Land Tour. I think everybody should go to Israel at least once. We went right when everything had just kicked up with Syria, in case you're wondering. And a lot of people were freaked out about it. I don't know how I didn't realize my parents would have access to the news back in the States. They were freaked out about it, and I was just like, listen, and the night we landed in Tel Aviv, there were bombs and mortars going off, and people thought it was fireworks, and I said, no, it's not fireworks. And my parents were like, get back on the plane, get home, and I was like, listen, I said, no. I said, Abba is bigger than all of this, and I said, I know where I'm going. I was like, no, I'm not. And so I stayed the trip, and I'm glad I did. I had a friend who told me before I left that I would see Matt there, and I thought, what on earth? I thought, she has got to have lost her mind. I thought she has got to just be completely bonkers. No joke. Sure enough, we were under Bethlehem touring in a certain section of the city. I looked to the right. There he was in his t-shirt and his shorts with his tennis shoes and his socks and his sunglasses and his camera around his neck, smiling like a Cheshire cat, as happy as he could be. And it just blew my mind. He was there for the second that I looked away, looked back, he was gone. Now, of course, I had a moment. Of course I did. But I was able to have that moment. The pastor's wife came and helped me, and then I was able to move, on and enjoy the trip. So don't ever let someone tell you that you shouldn't take a trip because you've had a recent loss. Just explain to them that you may have moments. Allow that person to have their moments, and then let them go forward. I still have moments. I had, moments yesterday. I've had moments today, and this is 11 years later. It happens. One of the things that I was going to say that I didn't get to say earlier was he also loved Top Gun. That was another one of his favorite movies. He loved the new Star Trek movie. He was not a big sci-fi guy before we met, but he loved the new Star Trek movie. If I ever wanted to watch a movie, that was the movie. Or when I said, what movie do you want to watch? He would say Star Trek. He loved the old Top Gun. I know he would have loved the new Top Gun. I saw the new Star Trek movies in his honor. I'm still waiting for the fourth one to come out. I think everybody is. We were watching the original series of Star Trek because he loved it. We were watching Stargate Universe together, which I've recently started rewatching. He had favorite Bible verses, several favorite Bible verses, which I've shared those with you guys before. One of them is in Habakkuk about the feet of a deer. Jeremiah talks about the plans I have for you. And then there's one other one I'm trying to think. It's not coming to me right now, but I'm trying to scroll through these pictures so I can get to the next thing. But there's a lot of them because I took a lot of pictures for Israel. He used to always do pictures of our trips on his MacBook, and he would do the Apple books, and he made it seem so easy. Come to find out, it actually wasn't. And so I did one book for our Israel trip, but honestly, I could have done probably 3. And God love her heart, my roommate wanted a copy, and unfortunately I never got one to her. I don't even know, my idea was to do a book for every trip because that's what he did. But I did not realize at the time that it was really, really difficult to do that. And so, just trying to get through the days, because there's a lot of pictures of Israel. So I'm still on the Israel pictures. I am scrolling. I have noticed that you guys have stopped watching though, so it is what it is. Like I said, it wasn't going to be everybody's cup of tea today, so, and I knew that, but I was just being obedient to what Abba told me to do, because somebody needed to hear it. I had to remind myself that even though it felt like I had also died on 7th December 2012, and in a way, parts of me did. I literally had to go back to my workplace a month later and explain to them and talk to them like I wasn't me, and say the person who left that day on that Friday is not the person who came back, and I never will be that same person again. But I had to remind myself that I wasn't the one who died that day, that it was Matt, and that I was still alive, and that Abba still had me here for a reason. I was trying to find a picture, but I don't know. Anyway, let me go back to days. And so, that's hard. That's a hard thing to do, but I had to remind myself that I wasn't even though it felt like part of me had, I had to remind myself that I wasn't the one that died that day, that it was Matt that did, and that I was still here, and that Allah still had me here for a reason. Um, you know, and one of my favorite verses that came out of that for me was Nehemiah 8:10, and talking about the joy of the Lord is my strength. And honestly, I know it sounds easier said than done, but I couldn't have gotten through some of the things that I got through without Abba and without that verse. And that's just the God's honest truth. I'm trying to find, there's a certain picture I'm looking for. Apologies. Yes, okay, it's coming up. There we go. I knew it would. 12th May 2013, I got to go to the Wailing Wall in Israel and put in a note to Abba about what I was going through with having lost, oh yeah, that's a closer up one, with having lost Matt. And so, yeah, that makes it a little bit bigger so you can see it a little bit easier. And so that was definitely a unique experience for sure. And I'm so thankful. I know it was hard, because, you know, obviously when you take a trip like that, you want your husband to come with you. Shelley's didn't at the time, but since when we got back and we told him about our trip, that the next time she went, he wanted to go. So I was like, okay, good, prayers answered. And so I was excited about that. So I was like, okay, yeah, here's another picture of the picture that we had from the cruise that I used for the memorial bulletin. And I didn't stay home long. I turned around on 8th June 2013 and ended up going to Peru. And so there's Inca Kola. And so I got to go meet our compassion kids in Peru. And that was a lovely trip, but a hard trip, because I got to meet our little guy, Roger, at the time. And I had reached out to Compassion and I said, how do you tell your kids that Matt is gone? And they said, well, it depends on their age levels. And they gave me some recommendations and some suggestions. And of course, it was easier with the older kids. It wasn't easy with Roger. And to be fair, he did not believe me when I told him. He thought I was joking with him, and he thought that I was just pulling his leg, and he thought Matt was going to jump out. And of course, they kept telling me, don't show any emotion now while you're with him. But when that rickshaw ride back was really hard, because he really thought I was just messing with him. And I had to pull him, pull him aside like you would a small child and tell him, I would never jokingly tell you that. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? But we had an amazing trip, and it was great to get to meet him in person, and I got to spend a lot of time with him that week, and I got to meet his family, I got to see where he lives, I got to see the center that he was at for Compassion International, and it really was amazing. And I got to give him all the things that Matt and I had put together for him. And so it was truly, truly lovely. And then I got back in time for Father's Day in 2013. So there's Dad opening his Father's Day gifts. And then I had gotten us matching Peruvian hats. So this is us at Grace Fellowship Church, which with matching Peruvian hats, and I had gotten my niece and my nephew giant gummy bears because they had them, and I thought, why not? Because that's what a good auntie does. And then God love her heart, on 20th June 2013, Grizz had gone to the groomers and they put a bow in her hair, and I thought, oh. So before she tore it out, I managed to take a picture because I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, we're just not. I was like, wow. I was able to spruce up. Oh yeah, I had seen there were times I would see things. This quote though, this quote helped a lot, and I still believe, and it's anonymous, so anon emails. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And so I got it, but I would see things that would remind me of him, and so I ended up getting this U.S. Navy tin picture because it just reminded me of him. And then of course I saw this, I didn't get it, but master of the grill, my rule, because he was a big grill master. And so I ended up getting his grill to my stepfather-in-law, Pat, who used it greatly. I was able to spruce up the front porch finally in 24 June 2013. So we got a nice swing for the front porch. I wanted an outdoor living space. We had our little table and chairs to the left with our little rock that Glenda had painted us, and his shoes are still sat by it because he used to use them to mow the yard. But the little rock said Carla and Matt. We had a gorgeous swing-a-zon that had a peacock on it because our whole front porch theme was peacocks. I loved it. They had this, I don't remember the name of the company now, but anyway, they had this little company with cats that you could get. Oh, I've gotten something on my phone, but I don't know how to get it off. Anyway, a little welcome to our home sign, the Bailey family, and in the season that it was. And so this was that, and it was lovely. Who's on now? Oh, hey, Debbie. Thanks for tuning in. And so, because he had always wanted, you know how you could have those signs that they would have made that would say Bailey family established? He always wanted one of those. This was my lovely peacock centerpiece for our table outside. And a lot of this, in case you're wondering, is Pier 1. I absolutely loved Pier 1. That was our little chime, chime that we had. And then this was another peacock wind chime, and then this was another wind chime. And then when it would blow, the wind would go. And the little sticker by the door was to let people know when they came that we had cats on the inside in case of emergency. These were also from Pier 1, but I loved them. I wanted to make the living room look like a movie theater. And I loved these because they had double meanings. And also because they spelled them like theater performance versus theater movie. So theater stage performance is R-E. Theater movie is E-R. Some of you don't know that. But it was theater, now open for those who dream. Starring you, Encore Daily, dreams now in color. And I loved it because it had such a double meaning. And then I got the other one too. Free admission to those who believe. Open to all ages. Okay? And they were just amazing. And that also came from Pier 1. And then they had a beautiful navy wind chime that I got in honor of him. I won't show you all the movie stuff because there's a lot of it, but this was really cool because it was a little table, but it's a movie reel. But it's a movie reel of film that's been made into a table, and it was our little end table. And then, of course, we got our bird bath for the back deck because I still was trying to take care of his birds. That was on 25th June 2013. We got no, that's the same Papazon. Yeah. I came home and I came home on 26th June 2013, which would have been our anniversary, and I had not one but 2 sets of flowers waiting for me. And what was really, really cool was one of them was stargazer tiger lilies that Jeannie had done from Matt, and that was just, y'all, my heart. On 28th June 2013, I won't show you her picture, but I got to take my niece to go get her nails done. Got everybody a mani-pedi because, you know, every girl should learn how to be girly. And so got to do that. got to spend time with the family on the 30th for her birthday. So Matt and I used to love, oh yeah, my sister had sent me some amazing birthday gifts as well. That was the year that she sent me my fibromyalgia book, which tells you all about it, and also some other really cool things. But Matt and I used to love to go to Asheville, North Carolina for a day trip, and so the parents and I went on my birthday for a day trip, and we were out front 12:28 p.m. 1st July 2013, and this was just randomly laying there. It's a hydrangea. We had hydrangeas in our wedding, and it was almost like he was saying, "Happy birthday, love." Anyway, it was amazing. And then we were at one place, and there's a cat, and he's got a shocked face, and it's, "No pie? No pie?" Like Cartman on South Park. Anyway, we went to a Mexican restaurant that evening. I got to wear this is back when I still drank. I had my Peru shirt on. I got to wear a sombrero, and they all sang to me. It was quite embarrassing, to say the least. I still had the tree up, come 3rd July 2013, but that's as few of the lights that still worked. They didn't, they stayed lit for about a year, and then they fizzled out. I started having, I don't know what that noise is. I don't know if that's the cats or if that's a person. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Hello? I don't know. Anyway, very strange. Apologies. Anywho, I started having anything to do with his memories framed and matted, so we put them in the stairwell as you would go up. And then I found this for the master: cherish, live, dream, and I hung it up above there. This was 3rd July 2013. Yeah. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I know about life. It goes on. And I got that and hung it on the wall in the office. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was very bizarre. And then we used to always say this as well: "I love you to the moon and back." So I found that and got it for the wall. And then a couple of others that I found that I decided to make part of the collection. If tears could build a stairway and memories a lane, I would walk right up to heaven and bring you home again. And then this one: I believe that tears can heal, that memories can comfort, that love lives on forever. And those were on top of the fridge in the kitchen. And then I had taken his Navy outfit and put it in a 4th of July frame of him in his uniform. And so we did that for 4th of July that year as another way to remember. We had taken another trip to Knoxville on the 4th of July, and the parents were meant to be getting a new bed. So there they are testing it out, but I ended up being the one who ended up getting a new bed. However that worked out, I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, and then let's see. Oh yeah, I went to, yes. I went to go spend time. I had, my friend was in Alaska as a lab tech, and so I went to go spend time with her. So I'm in the airport in Minneapolis, 5th July. There's an amazing wolf statue. And then I ended up in, and then I was in St. Paul, Minnesota, and then I ended up in Anchorage, Alaska. And so I spent a couple of weeks there. And let's see if I can, what were you doing down there? I'm trying to share memories, and I'm on live, and I don't know what's going on. Okay, anyway. It was my cat, but I don't know why she had to choose that particular moment to do that particular thing. Anyway, this is a picture of me on the beach in Anchorage. I did try to bring Alaska back with me. I ended up getting extra suitcases and the whole nine. That's another picture of me sitting on rocks at the beach in Alaska. Kind of reminds me of the rocks on La Push Beach in the Twilight movie. But yeah, I got extra suitcases. I tried to bring Alaska back home. It didn't work. So I was still pet sitting at that point. I had the privilege and honor of taking care of this amazing giant Maine Coon, 17th July 2013. He was only 3. He's not full grown. His head's as big as mine. I tried to pet sit as long as I could, but it sadly ended up coming to, I think it was that December, January between 2013 and 2014, I decided to close down the business because we had become quite popular thanks to all the help that Matt did starting up the set. And we were quite well known in the area, and it was very hard doing the work of 2 people with just one person, but also he did all the business stuff. He did the overnights, he did the big dogs. And when you're grieving, you don't know what your emotions are going to be, and I didn't want to take it out on the animals, so it was very hard to continue, so I just prayerfully made the decision to shut it down. In July of 2013, the parents and I went to St. Augustine and then down to Florida for vacation. And so I got a chance to kind of show them what a different vacation could look like. And also we got to go down to Daytona Beach, and Dad was able to see his sister Carolyn. We were able to see family there. And at that same time as we were leaving, that was when I found out about Victoria. They were driving, I was doing a search, and this little kitten popped up on Facebook. It looked like the kitten that Tugger and Grizza could have had but never had. She was 9 weeks old, and everybody and their brother wanted her. I kept tabs on her for the 2 weeks. We got back from the trip, and I just knew that they were going to tell me that she had been adopted, someone had gotten her, and they were like, come get your cat. So I was the one blessed enough to get to take her home. Took her home at 11 weeks. She's been with me ever since. So now Littles is now 11 and Victoria is now 10. And Grizza sadly crossed the Rainbow Bridge on our anniversary in what would have been our 6th wedding anniversary in 2016. So yeah, so here's a picture of Victoria when she was a kitten. She was adorable. She had to grow into her ears. Anyway, continued on, let's see, decorating for, oh yes, fall and whatnot. The release of the second, I think that's the second one, yes. The release of the second Star Trek movie came out, and it came out with a model. And so he loved DVD, but he loved Blu-ray as well. So I got the kit. I got the one that had the ship as a tribute and memorial to him. So I got that. We got the girls a new cat tree. I don't have any right side up pictures of this, but it was amazing. This was 18th September 2013. They were made out of real trees. I ended up with 3 of them. They were massive. They were amazing. And anyway, thankfully someone here, and there was even a top one that was very comfortable. There's her again when she was a kitten and curved. Anyway, because the cat trees here are kind of a bit of a joke. And so thankfully someone here has decided to take on the commission of doing new cat trees for us. So I'm thankful for that. We had a a little craft market, and so I got this because it reminded me of Matt because he loved cardinals. But I got a nest for it and added 2 cardinals in the tops. The big cardinal's Abba, and the little cardinals are Matt and I. So that was something I had gotten for Christmas that year in 2013. And then I also got, this was 24th September, Jack Skellington. And anyway, for a decoration for Halloween and for Christmas. And it's quite funny because I had forgotten that I had sat him there, and I had come back downstairs the next day, and he scared the you-know-what out of me. So I actually had to, I had to put him in the closet because he startled me so. So Matt had actually had a piece of work published, so I got it framed and matted for his project that he had, where he had his work published. I also got us a reusable Bailey's pumpkin for Halloween. He wanted to be able to do work in the yard and to work on the yard and to landscape, and he didn't get a chance to do that. And his mom, it would have been very sad for me to say, can you do it? So I ended up hiring landscapers to do it, and we ended up with a sprinkler system. So the yard took on a whole new turn, but I did that in honor and memory of him. I got to spruce up our lovely front porch for Halloween. That's just a picture of a candle. I won't take you through all the pictures. If you followed along with our pictures over the years anyway, you've seen most of them. And then 5th October 2013, I ended up going to, hang on and I'll be able to tell you. I think, let me see a picture with a person and then I can tell you. Maybe. Maybe. It's either Bolivia or Colombia. I just need to see the person and I'll be able to tell you. Let's see. Bolivia. I want to say it's Bolivia. Yep, it's Bolivia. I got to go see our other compassion kid. So he was older, but still wanted to go meet them all. So this is us together in Bolivia. And then I also did not know this at the time, but there's 2 statues of Jesus. Everyone thinks about the one in Rio, but this one in Bolivia is actually bigger than the one in Rio. Now I still want to go see the one in Rio, but I had an amazing roommate on that trip. Her name's Carolyn. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady. Let me go to days here because we've got a lot of pictures to get through. Little sis decided to come comfort me now, even though she caused distraction earlier. At the end, I got to give him his backpack. The most special thing to me to give him was his Spanish Bible, which he was very, very happy to receive. And let's see. Then okay. I want to say, yeah. That's still the same trip. So still in Bolivia. Yeah. And then back home for a bit at the beginning of October. Tried my best that next year to celebrate Griz's birthday with her like her cat daddy had the year before. God love her heart. That was, it was not easy. Decorated for Halloween. Did some, made some additions to the front. This was really cool. There were amazing colored marbles inside. There was a candle on top and these cool little things spruced out of it. And then got a new candle thing for our table. Some new pillows. All of this was Pier 1 because I absolutely loved Pier 1. And then on, oh yeah, I started putting our DVDs into these baskets. So 17th October 2013, these wicker baskets, because we were overflowing the 2 drawers that came with our entertainment center, which was something that the parents previously had. 18th October 2013, the parents and I took a trip to California to see my sister Lisa, but also to see my sister Kim. So that's the parents in Laguna Beach. That was a lovely, lovely trip. Let's see. They had the elephants on display during that time. It was amazing. Our table just happened to have hydrangeas that day with baby's breath. Again, it was like he was saying, hello, love. That was not something that was planned. It just happened. I'm trying to get, we saw Queen Mary. It was amazing. I'm trying to get to, let's see if I can find. I was going to show you, there's a picture I took of, yeah. And then this is my dad and my sister Kim on that trip at her bar, Kimmy's Tavern, Old Town Clovis. She had made Dad a margarita. Or not a margarita, a Bloody Mary, and he was happy. So yeah, I also ended up doing a memorial to Matt in Old Kiwanis Park, 28th October 2013. So there's his memorial for where he was in the Navy. I also did one in Elizabethton as well. I had my flag from Bolivia that I hung up in our room, our guest room. And then I literally turned around and got right back on a plane on Halloween, anyway, of 2013, and went to Colombia. And I had an amazing roommate on that trip. Her name is Jen. I went to go see our other compassion child who, it was kind of funny. I was the one writing him, but I wasn't the one that had sponsored him. His sponsors didn't have time to write, so I was writing him. So this is Juan and I, and so in Colombia, and so that was another great trip and a great opportunity. And I got to meet his mom. We got to spend a lot of time together that week. I got to see where they live and kind of see how things went and how things were. And I got to see the center and everything, so it was great. And then November 2013, decorating for fall. As you can see, Matt's Navy backpack is still in the background there. Doing some, I forgot what that's called. Rustic. Anyway, this was a cookie of Jack that I had seen at a place. And then we had talked about getting an espresso machine, Matt and I, and then I went into a place in Knoxville and saw this, and I didn't get the machine there, but I got the stand there. But anyway, this was our gorgeous espresso machine I ended up getting with the knock box underneath, and she was a thing of beauty. And so I did go ahead and add the Quillen sticker to my car, as well as the Navy sticker as another way to remember him, and that was 8th November 2013. And let's see. Again, another, talking about remembering people, I put another one of his pictures in his uniform in a frame to remember him. And let's see. Oh, yes. 15th November, we decided to get new French doors. So that's 2013, so that's the doors being taken out. So that's with no doors. Obviously the cats were put up because, that was in the reading/sitting room and also in the kitchen, because those both led out to the deck, which led out to a very big backyard, which led out to the woods. So the new French doors, and they also had screens, so I could actually open the doors and the screens would be in place. It was quite lovely, and that's in the reading/sitting room. Um, and so, and then we also ended up putting screens. Oh yeah, we got a new storm door as well for the front, and it was really cool. It's a Larson. It was green to match the green door. Instead of having the bottom be open, like most storm doors, you could pull the top down, and the top would have the mesh, and so you could have a cross breeze. So we put screens in every single window. We had 19 windows in that house. So during the fall, I could literally open I could open the front door, the French doors, and every single window, and have the breeze going through the entire house. And so this is a picture of it with it open with that top part down. It was very lovely, because it was a safe enough neighborhood to do that. And this is one of my favorites. 20th November 2013, the girls sitting in the kitchen window with the window open, but the screen's there so they can't get out. They don't do windows like that here, so but it was a safe enough neighborhood that if you fell asleep with it like that, it was okay. On 19th November 2013, I got my Lord of the Rings series on CD so I could listen to it, which was nice. I ended up taking a trip to go see a friend in Clarksville on the 22nd of November. Oh yes, it was for, I know now, it was for the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, and so that is the TARDIS as the Doctor for the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. That was quite a lovely trip. I was able to provide all the decorations, the TARDIS lights, the 50th anniversary Dalek, as well as several pieces of books and games and memorabilia. I made the fish fingers. My friend made the custard. Yes, we did eat them. They were amazing. And so that was an amazing, yeah. This is something I wish we had here. There's a place called, or a company called Garden of Eaton in the States, and they had a blue corn taco dinner kit, and it was absolutely amazing. Granted, my oven, I don't know if my oven works now, so I don't know that I could make it anyway, but oh gosh. The best tacos, only 5 minutes in the oven, crispy, fresh, the best seasoning, the best sauce. Oh, anyway. And then here's the girls piled up in the tree. Not in the tree, sorry, piled up in the cat chair with all the blankets. And so you've got Matt's mom, Jeannie's mom, made the quilt that's behind. She had given that to us for our wedding. And then trying to get Christmas put away and watch some, looks like some Star Trek at the same time. Anyway, 9th December 2013. Lots of pictures, lots of flowers, because we had just come upon the 1 year anniversary. Vic fell asleep in the napkins, because where else do you sleep but in the napkin basket? Here's some of the Stargazer tiger lilies that came, that Matt's mom sent in his place. And I had gotten our little outdoor space festive as well on the front porch. And then I decided we had done color lights, but I decided to do white lights. We had this amazing white wispy tree, and then we had this amazing wreath that was white, and then we had a little tree on the other table that changed colors, and then we had also I gave the swing new pillows. The one in the center says Joy, because that was my mom's name. We had our little winter wonderland also going on there, and our little welcome sign, which was from Israel. And then this little season's greetings rug has been in my family since I was little. And then I had an outdoor winterscape with the foxes and the candles and everything. And then our little foxes, again, our little foxes. And a lot of this stuff was Pier 1, because I loved Pier 1. And again, another little winterberry display. Absolutely loved it. And then we had been given this as a gift. Somebody that Dad knew made these, and it was it was lights, and anyway, it was really pretty, and it would hang from the top. It was very pretty. Anyway, so and then this is 12th, 13th December, to show you a little bit different. The yard looks a lot different. Some of the landscaping I did in honor, in memory of Matt, and that's in 2013. I had an archway added. I also had, I don't know if we have, yes, Matt loved deer, so I had a deer sculpture added in memory of him, and I would decorate it for Christmas. This was the trip that my friend came to visit and gave me the St. John's ambulance patch, which, if you know Doctor Who, and that was a big deal because she could have sold it for quite a bit, but she said that she felt led to give it to me, so I was able to put it with his patches on top of the chest of drawers, and so there's a full picture of all of that. And so our tree was sadly dying, and so his mom was amazing, and she sent me a very big, gorgeous pre-lit Christmas tree and got me a red velvet skirt to put under it. So this was the new Christmas tree, and it was absolutely stunning. And I decided to do something different and put it in the reading/sitting room. We ended up having a ton of stargazer tiger lilies. They ended up blooming out really well. There were so many of them the day after the memorial service that when you got to the house, the smell was just overwhelming. I had collected some new ornaments in memory of, and that ornament collection kept growing, and things that reminded me of him. If you know me, I love sock monkeys, so I had my Christmas sock monkeys. And then this was all the Christmas decorations, just a few, it's fine. This was a book I actually was wishing I had with me today. This is an amazing book. If you've never read it, I highly recommend it. It's called The Gift of Nothing, and it's Patrick McDonnell. And if you've never read it, you should read it. These are my absolute favorite kind of cookies at Christmas time. They're peanut butter with the Hershey Kisses in them. And so I had taken an attempt at making some. And then this was our gorgeous new tree with the nativity underneath it, with all the new ornaments on it. And then this picture was my cousin Kathy's, and I love it because Grizza decided to sleep next to it. It's a Christmas cat, but then there's Grizza sleeping next to it. And yeah, just so many special little memories. This was one of Matt's favorite snowmen. I had it out in honor and memory of him. His mom had given it to me. I always loved jingle bells, so we had this jingle bell wreath, and it literally was made of nothing but jingle bells. It was very loud when you hung it up and you took it down. And yes, we even had Christmas decorations in the loo. I know. I had all of our stockings up. I still had Matt's stockings up as well, and our house slippers were still next to each other. Anyway, and then I had the stockings up for the girls, for the new cats as well. And then I even put his little Christmas tree up in the office next to his old license plates that were on his car, because I ended up gifting his car to Pat's daughter. And then I had my old Christmas tree in the guest room, my little one. And of course, ours was still going, but our lights had gone out by then, but it was still up. I'd gotten a new Christmas sign, city sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas, and that was another, Pier 1, because I absolutely loved Pier 1. Christmas nails. These are Doctor Who nails. I was still wearing my rings, so my ring is still on my hand in that picture. More Doctor Who nails. I had forgotten about that. I must have been getting ready for Happy Who Year, or decided to do Doctor Who Christmas. I really don't remember. Anyway, oh yes, this was the first gift of Christmas that next year. and I had put it right in front of the nativity because he was so big on the first gift of Christmas. And so I had done that. I had gotten some candy from elsewhere. This was back when we still drank, so no judgment. But this was at Christmas with his mom and Pat. So this is the wine bottle all dressed up as Santa. And then I had the archway and the deer decorated. So that's the outside of the front of the house for Christmas that following year. And then I had an amazing friend who made me a Doctor Who Advent calendar that year. And it was brilliant. She took a box of Hershey Kisses and put the felt over it, and the numbers weren't in order, and you had to hunt for it, and it was absolutely stunning. I used to always like to say when the cats got under the tree, they were the first gift of Christmas. So there's Victoria being under the tree, having to be told, sniff, look, love. This was the tree that year with all the gifts underneath it. Oh my goodness, there's it's so much, it's overflowing. So there's some Snoopy stuff in the background. I also had found a tree skirt that had cardinals on it because Matt loved cardinals. So yeah, and then I was, back then when I still drank, I was a white wine drinker, so this is Santa dressed up on my bottle of my white wine because I didn't like the dark stuff. I liked it light and sweet. This is one of my, I love you to the moon and back, one of my Hallmark ornaments from the book, because we used to say that to each other all the time. Oh yes, this one's special. This is Grizza with her Christmas mouse. Well, it's really more like a Christmas rat, but anyway, that was from Matt, so it was special. A print of Vincent van Gogh, Starry, Starry Night, because it's one of my absolute favorites. And then just, pictures of the snow and the flag, and I always had to make sure the flag had a light on it. I had a ornament of one of my favorite pictures made of him that I had put on the tree, and so that was there. And this quote: "The only people who think there's time limit for grief have never lost a piece of their heart. Take all the time you need." Because like I said, it's been 11 years, and I had moments yesterday, I've had moments today. You just never know. I found this Doctor Who Christmas card, and I loved it because it's the TARDIS, and it opens up, and it says, "Would you be my companion?" Actually, it was a Valentine's Day card, and I thought it was so sweet. I was able to spoil rotten a friend of mine that year for their birthday in February. Oh yes, this quote too. "I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow." Easter decoration ideas. I found these amazing cute ball jars. So I went and had my nails done for Easter. So there's Easter nails. Matt also believed that every woman should have a mani-pedi. She should be able to be pampered. And so that was another belief. This was one of his remote control airplanes that I was going to give to his best friend, Will, which I did end up doing. That was 13th March 2014, and Grizza is not approving because anytime anything would go out the door that was her cat daddy, she just was not having it. Oh, I had forgotten we had done that. See, I'm remembering things I didn't remember. Anyway, we had a water feature put in. I totally forgot. 29th April 2014, we had a water feature put in right in front, and it had a little fountain that you could sit out there and hear the water run. I completely forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. I had some, let's see, this was 17th May 2014. I had some Star Trek flowers planted. They look like they're from another planet. Oh yes, I love this. This is me and math in a nutshell. Now I see, how I see math word problems. If you have 4 pencils and 7 apples, how many pancakes will fit on the roof? Purple, because aliens don't wear hats. And this cat is like in utter panic. That's literally me with math. That's not a joke. Let's see. Yes. Then I got to, Then I got to take a trip to California to go to my sister's weddings. That's my sister Lisa and her now husband Keith. And so I got everything done up for that. And she got me this amazing necklace that I could, and it had his initial in it and his stones, and I could put his ring on it or whatever I wanted to. It was an amazing gift. And this is how many bobby pins and a barrette that were in my hair for her wedding. Yeah, and we got to do some amazing things. This is 20th August 2014. This was one of the pictures that I snapped from where I was sitting. So I got to go be part of that. I got to basically be there for her like she was for me at my wedding, and I was very thankful for that. And I did my nails in a Dallas Cowboys blue with a silver trim as a French, and that's my little mug from San Diego, because whenever I travel, I like to get a You Are Here mug. That following year, we had a Doctor Who party in 23rd August 2014 with friends I'd met at my new job as a smoothie artist. And so there's a police call box cake. So yeah. And then, let's see. We had gotten these new lights for the fall. They were amazing lantern lights. They were just solar. So that was really cool. That's when I started, that's when I was working on, I'd been to 3 sessions so far. That's when I started working on regeneration, which was the class I was taking at the time. We were told to write our testimony so we could share it in front of the class. It ended up being 9 pages long. And if you put that on video, it ends up being 1 hour and 44 minutes and 31 seconds. And so my brother had sent me a picture of him 19th October 2014, 7:48 p.m. My brother Mike, who's since passed, in his backyard doing an air guitar with Hendrix. It's one of my favorite pictures. I had gotten amazing fall nails, but they were chipping like crazy, and it was stressing me. We'd gone somewhere. We'd gone to Virginia, it looks like, for something anyway. Let's see. Yeah, and then Griz's birthday. I try to do Griz's birthday again. And then I still had Matt's MacBook at the point, so I had updated his wallpaper to a wedding shot. And then I was into all the pictures with all the words, yes. So he had wanted to get me an NSX, an Acura NSX, and so it's, anyway, 2nd November 2014, there was an advert for one, so there it is. We were going to get it and test drive it and then learn how to drive it like race car drivers. And somebody was like, why didn't you? And I was like, because sometimes if you can do something doesn't mean you should. Like, it would have been really sad and really tragic. One of my friends I worked with at Kiva Juice at the time was a graphic artist, and he did this amazing illustration. He was very talented. Going on into 2014, I had changed my wallpaper on my I got an iMac because Matt was going to get me one, so I changed it to my favorite picture of him. And just decorating for fall. Some of those decorations you guys have already seen. Oh yes, and I kept the chili tradition up, so there's our famous fall chili. Kept making that because you can't not have it. And they had these amazing chips. They don't have them here, but they're called So Chill, and they had pumpkin salsa. Like if you went to Fresh Market, oh my goodness, it was amazing. And then I did separate decorations for Thanksgiving, so there's my Thanksgiving angel. I was big on decorating. I never really took a lot of pictures of it before, but I realized the value of pictures after Matt was gone. And so then I started taking pictures of everything because I wanted to be able to remember and not forget anything. And then someone had finally gotten, this was a picture of Rum Tum Tugger when he was an adult cat. He was my other Maine Coon mix. And let's see. Oh yes, Grizzy used to love to drink out of the sink. That's the little bathroom in the cottage house downstairs. Anyway, she used to love to drink water out of the sink. Matt used to love fall. He would take a ton of fall photos. Let's see. I got to go with my friend Brandy to North Carolina for a game it was 14th November 2014, so there's us at a Dukes game, my first official ever football game, and she was trying to explain it to me in person, and yeah, she did a good job, but I just don't follow along well. That's me with their mascot. Her brother played for them, so that was an amazing trip and adventure, and got to meet like her family and everything. My stepmom Glenda loves these little guys that you get at the Dollar Tree that are solar. You can put them in the window, the turkey's little head bobs. Anyway, that was our little Thanksgiving decoration. They had come up with these Quillen sweaters, and so I got one in honor and memory of Matt. They also came up with a Quillen beer glass. I got one in honor and memory of Matt as well. Then this crazy little cat shows up in my life who reminds me of Tugger, but because at the time that I had been pet sitting him, he lived in downtown Johnson City, I didn't make the connection that it was the same cat. So we tried to rescue him and take him in, and we're going to call him Deuteronomy. But then sadly, after I'd gotten him to the pet advocate and gotten everything sorted and gotten him all his stuff, then his grandmother came and collected him and took him home. Come to find out, they had moved to not the city, but out to where we were, and they were on the street behind us, and they had let all the cats out. And so he had remembered me, and he was coming to see me, but I had been through so much that I had forgotten that I had taken care of him. And so then I got to go on a trip to Asheville with the ladies from church, and I got to see all the amazing ornaments, and there was a ton of cardinal ones, so I took a ton of pictures. That was a lovely day out. We did have Deuteronomy for quite some time, because is that H.G. Wells? I'm trying to remember. I think that might be H.G. Wells. I also tried to rescue another cat that was outside, named H.G. Wells. She didn't blend well with our family, but thankfully she blended well with Mary and her family, and she is there. So that was also in November of 2014. Was able to spend Thanksgiving with Matt's family on Thanksgiving Day in 2014. That was lovely. We also started that was me this Thanksgiving. So there we are with some stuff on from Coldwater Creek, because he also believed that you should be able to get stuff from the place that you love. Deuteronomy was back outside. So this is a funny one because he's sticking his tongue out. Yeah, he was a character. He still came back to visit me after that. We went, there's the Christmas festival in 2014, and then all of us at Lisa's wedding. My hair looks great, and then I was able to go and be a part of another wedding with Matt's side of the family, and so that was lovely. That was 2nd December 2014. I don't know if that was the actual date. That's the date I have the picture. Always had to make sure that the flag was in good order and that it had a light on it, because that was something that Matt was very adamant about. They had tried to put this scarf on Grizza when they had gone to the groomers, but it came off, or bandana rather, but it came off. This was at the Children's Hospital at Christmas in the JC, and I just thought it was a sweet, sweet picture. Got involved with the ministry 2nd December 2014. Ended up staying there for 7 years until Allah removed me. I love this. Everyone needs a companion, and my wife chose me. It made me think of Matt, so I just took a snap of it. I didn't get it. And then I had gotten this amazing Israeli glass. It was a wine glass, and it looked like space. Anyway, I was still drinking at that point. And I had a little thing on it for the caduceus, which is the doctor symbol anyway, and that was in honor and memory of Matt. And this was his class of 2015 at Quillen, and so took a picture of that because, you know, that was coming up, that they would be graduating soon. I actually did go to graduation. I've kept in touch with several of them. They're actually very sweet to me, all of them. Let's see, I ended up having a rental car back in 20th December 2014. It's got quite decorations on it there. Yeah, let's see. Invitations to weddings and whatnot. Yes. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Where am I? Oh, yeah, The Hobbit. I was trying to go to The Hobbit. Had gotten several things. There was this amazing, we went on that trip to Asheville, this amazing, like, blue crocheted, anyway, I don't even know what to call it, with, like, this shawl and this hat and scarf, anyway, and gloves, and anyway, it was really cool. This lady handmade all of it, anyway. The Hobbit. Yeah, so this was actually from my brother Mike. I didn't remember that. Carla, Kathy, and I wanted you to have this. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Enjoy your gift. We love and miss you, from Mike and Kathy, because she loved The Hobbit, so that's very sweet. Matt had wanted to do the 1 year through the Bible chronologically, and so I had gotten that in 2015. I also had amazing snowflake nails, because I was still keeping up with trying to get that done as well, because he wanted to make sure that I got, you know, that kept the mani-pedi thing going. Neighbors, new friends, lots and lots going on there. Oh yeah, I finally eventually did add my rings to the necklace that my sister Lisa got me on 8th February 2015. That's also when I got my purity ring that has a certificate with it. And here's the certificate. With the confidence and spirit of God that dwells in me, I make a promise to God, myself and my family, my friends, future mate, and my future children, to a lifetime of purity, including sexual abstinence from this day forward until the day I enter a biblical marriage relationship. And so it was witnessed by my friend and signed by me and dated, so 7th February 2015. And I still have that. And I don't have my jewelry on today, but I still wear that purity ring every single day. So yeah, oh yeah, I had forgotten. I was doing, I decided to do Doctor Who for Valentine's Day because it was hard to do regular Valentine's Day, so I did Doctor Who instead because it was easier. This is one of my favorite pictures of Deuteronomy. He's at the back door begging. He didn't understand why he couldn't come in and hang out with us anymore. And then I always loved this Valentine's Day flag because it says, "Who loves you?" Because some people don't know that they're loved. So it's decorating, making soups, doing all the winter things. Oh yes. So I had gotten the parents a house in the JC really close to mine, and then anyway they ended up going somewhere else. So then I had friends who were going to rent it, and they brought the dog first. And I thought, well, no big deal. I'll just pet sit him until they get there. So this was Milo. This was in February 2015. What I didn't know was that Milo wasn't used to being inside, and basically Milo ended up eating the house. Now, I will say this, my friends did make it right. They took care of all the damages. They paid for everything. It all worked out. They even ended up renting the house for me for a while, lived there for a while. It was great. Anyway, this was I Love You More. Matt was always saying that, so anytime I saw it, I tried to take a snap of it. Again, I Love You More in Scrabble pieces that were made out of wood. and another street paint, I Love You More. And then another very sweet TARDIS card. For my other Whovian heart, each of us just Gallifreyan apart. Oh, let's dream about that box, big and little, at the same time, with the times we've had and the times we will. It just reminded me of a card that we would have gotten each other, and I loved it. And then instead of Be My Valentine, Be My Companion, again, another Doctor Who thing. And then I Love You Oodles. It's the Ood. Happy Valentine's Day. Again, I've been a Whovian for years. I grew up with Doctor Who, by the way. This was my Roswell mode. It's the aliens. They look like they've gotten caught, Roswell, New Mexico, and they're startled. And then on the other side, they're looking at the map and trying to figure out where they went wrong. Lots and lots of pictures of, where he ate the house. Anyway, but like I said, they took care of it. They made it right, so that's all that matters. I got this because it was one of his favorites. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. I got that sign because it was one of Matt's favorite verses. Again, new friends, getting a chance to be a part of people's weddings. Yeah, I love it. 25th February 2015, my cat and I have decided to stay in tonight. Yes, so true, so true. I got to go be a part of my friend Jessica and Joe's wedding, which was really cool because I worked with both of them at Starbucks and I could see it for years before it happened. And then the night it finally all came to be, there was nowhere else for them to go, and they'd come back to my place and they said, can we just go upstairs and talk for a while? And I said, yeah, take your time. You have all the time you need. And I just stayed down on the couch with the girls, and anyway. Matt loves Starfruit from Robert Is Here in Homestead, Florida, so those are two Starfruit together. That was Matt and I. Got that as a representation. Loved decorating even for St. Patrick's Day. Did that. Oh, this is a note from my mom. After a play in college, Carla did a great job. We are very proud of you. Very proud of your acting talents. We love you and respect you. Get some rest. Love, Mom and Dad. And she had put a smiley face in her name. Anyway, that's a note from my mom. Anyway. This is a cute one. I had gotten him a mini Works set. This was from one of our Christmases. Anyway, a mini Works set for his desk, and he's opening it, and he's got the Santa hat on. That other picture. I'm sorry, the other picture was Deuteronomy. This is H.G. Wells because she's got the boots on her feet. Anyway, she was very sweet, but she's very happy now with Mary and her family. Lots of, I love it. You didn't rescue a cat rescued you. That's literally true with Little. She did rescue me. Yes. This was when I had my conviction. 1st April 2015. This is when I had my conviction from Abba around Easter about alcohol, because I had gone to go get stuff for Jeannie on sale at One Stop, and I had my production shirt from the Easter play on, and I got out of the car and Abba said, are you going to take that in? Are you going to take me in there? And I said, well, no. The house was only 5 minutes from the shop, so I went home and changed and went back and ran the errand for her. But when I went home and changed, he said, now that you're here and I have your attention, because I have addiction on both sides of my family. Now, I never struggled with drug addiction myself, but my brothers and sisters have. But I struggled with the alcohol addiction majorly. And so Abba said, now that you're here and I have your attention, he said, I want you to get rid of all of this. He was talking about all the alcohol paraphernalia, all of it. He said, I want you to get rid of it, and I don't want you to look back. And guys, I can say I have not looked back. I got rid of all of it that day. I have not looked back. I have not missed it. So I have not had anything to drink since 1st April 2015. And that's all thanks be to Abba. and so that was amazing that came up on here. And then decorations for Easter, because I love to decorate for Easter. We had a women's Bible study going at the time. Anyway, yeah, kindness is a gift everyone can afford to give. So true. Then we got to go on a retreat to, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Anyway, I want to say to, I can't remember really where it was. Anyway, but it was, 17th April 2015. Got to go on a little retreat. That was nice. Anyway, no, there's some pictures in here that I just would rather there not be. I got to go out with Haley, who at the time was Will's wife, and Will was Matt's best friend, for stuff for their graduation party, because I got to be there for that, so that was nice. Matt and I also got to be at their wedding, and they were missing 2 students, Matt and another, and they did a little memorial thing for them, which I thought was very, very sweet. They sent me home with the roses from his memorial, but I got to be there for the graduation, which I was very thankful for. That's Will and Haley. I love that picture. It wasn't easy by any stretch, and of course, it wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination, but it is what it is. But I was thankful to get to be there. Got other amazing shots of Deuteronomy in the garden. We were somewhere on a trip, anyway, 15th May 2015, another amazing fire pit. And so, and then I got to be, 2015, I got to be an intern. I learned a lot. I got to work with some amazing people, like Angie Grigsby. I got to work with some amazing people. I ended up doing another, this is Kiwanis Park and Veterans Memorial. I did another memorial for Matt there. I also did one for him in Elizabethton. His sister got married. I didn't get to go, but it's okay. Here's a lovely picture of Matt's mom and Pat from that. I got to be there for, just crazy interns. I love it. I got to be there for Matt and Matt's mom's wedding as well. That was really cool because, just was really cool. Because I called it. We had him. Here's Matt's shoes on the front with a 4th of July flag with Glenda's rock that says Matt and Carla. Those were the shoes he used to mow the yard with. And this was taken 30th May 2015, and they were still out there. I had a friend who knitted me some amazing things to keep me warm that year. Again, new friends and get-togethers. Trying to figure out what Instagram was all about, but I didn't do it at the time because Matt and I were against it. Again, meeting new friends. Again, there's some pictures on here I wish I could get rid of, but it won't let me delete them, sadly. Our amazing chandelier lights. I had come home and someone had cracked them because these actually had proper Tiffany glass. That was very frustrating. Crazy intern stuff. Gatlinburg EMT. My job is to save your, not to kiss it. That was something I took a picture for Matt. And then U.S. Navy. Our job is to fend your not to kiss it because I knew he would love those. I didn't buy them, but I just took snaps of them. Nails again because he always wanted me to have them done. This time they were more Doctor Who, but I also have my Navy camo lanyard bracelet. You could actually use it for something if you needed to. Got a new stylist. Took another trip. Oh yeah, took a trip to Myrtle Beach. Um, I still had my EMT tag on my car at that point, but it had to come off eventually because you couldn't renew it. Oh yes, got to really embarrass. I was an intern under Jacob for a while at the theater, and I got to really embarrass him by creating Team Jacob shirts. That was lovely, and we got to wear them and embarrass him. That was nice. Sorry. Let's see. Some of these are repeat pictures. Oh yeah, my friend put on my TARDIS blue wig. That was quite funny. So yeah, was making plans for another cosplay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I changed the light from regular to blue. And so, because we had green light of vet, and I think blue was for autism anyway. And then we ended up having some issues with those lights, but let's see, what else? Lots and lots. Artist and Ministry Camp. Just trying to scroll through. Oh yeah. Abba had given me an idea for a shirt for Tech Team Echoing Christ Heart. And then I had gotten one made with the I Can Has Cheeseburger Cat. I Can Has Places Please, because I was stage manager. And so, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is good. Your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Author unknown. Yeah. So, lots and lots and lots and lots of pictures of new friends, some old friends. Oh, yeah, the shirt I had made. Getting to go visit places I'd never been, where there was so much history. It was overwhelming. You could just feel it going in. Crazy intern pictures with people. Oh yeah, they actually built, thanks to Tyler, they built a stage manager station for me, which was nice. See, I tried that new color match thing. Some pictures of neighbors. Pictures of things that people laid on the altar, an altar call. Lots of stuff to do with my other car is a TARDIS. Lots of stuff to do with the production stuff that was happening at the time. Oh yeah, friends trying on wigs, audition pictures, plans for future gifts. Oh yeah, I donated it, but this was the guitar case I had hand painted when I was in junior high, with all the cool stuff, all the bands and stuff I was into at the time. Oh yeah, Doctor is Coming, Peter Capaldi as the 12th, yes. There's so much Doctor Who stuff sprinkled in throughout here, I had kind of sort of forgotten. A good Christmas decoration, but very patriotic. Hope, strength, and courage. Very cool. Oh yes, getting to re-glow tape the entire stage with Kelly and offering to stay with her so she didn't have to do it by herself. I'm the Doctor and I save people. Yeah, Capaldi. Yeah, I loved it when he was coming on. What is this one? Oh yeah. This was really cool. Thanks be to Katie at the theater. TARDIS Doctor Who eyeshadow. That was back 4th September 2014. There was Frog. Let's see. Yeah, anyway. Oh yeah. Hakuna Matata bed sheets, because I used to have them from Lion King. I also used to have the shirt. Found them all back on And I had the mug. Found them all back on Etsy. Gotta love Etsy. Oh, yes. Getting ready for Doctor Who. So having Jammy Dodgers and Jelly Babies sent from across the pond when I was in the States. Okay, serious Whovian here. I didn't expect there to be that many Jammy Dodgers. We had Jammy Dodgers for days. But we were gearing up for the new Doctor Who, because you got to always have, oh yes, and I went to go get, I went to go get fish fingers and custard. That was the best I could do in the States, because we couldn't get the kind they had here, sadly. So, because they would not send them. I tried and I tried anyway. There's the party event, the mug, the Jelly Babies, the fish fingers, the custard, and the Jammy Dodgers. There you go. And that was on 19th September 2015. Yeah, so, and then the next day, after you had your hair done, you go to bed and you have makeup on and you wake up the next morning, and I looked like an absolute crazy person. But anyway, this was the shirt. Yeah, Tech Team Echoing Christ Heart. And he just gave it to me one day on the way home. He just stopped and just said, "Here's what you need." For those of you who've been wondering what a Keurig is, this is a Keurig. You put a pot in, you make coffee or tea or hot chocolate. Anyway, some of my UK friends, oh yes, I did this in the desk because I was bored. I had a battle. Who would win? Anyway, who would win? We've got the Enterprise, the TARDIS, some aliens, a Dalek, Thor, a Cyberman, and another alien. Who would win that battle? Anyway. And that desk, I'd had that desk since college. It was handed down anyway. That was also during the time that I had a very dear friend come to help me try to sort some things out. So I was very appreciative. That was when Amber was there as an intern, and she came to help me try to sort some things. Let's see, I can have places, please. Oh yes, Matt's mom made this for us. It was a fall quilt, and she didn't make the pillow shims until the Valentine's Day a couple years after. It wasn't easy for her, but she wanted to finish. And this is the base coat of the universe for Doctor Who. This is also Matt and I's wedding anniversary. No, we didn't know when we picked it, but you talk about watching that episode after the fact, you talk about having a moment and a half. I was just like, oh my goodness. And then I got to do some new fun stuff for Halloween, for decorating. Hey, you're okay. Don't worry. It's a big hugs back. It's a long episode today because, well, we're only in 2015, so we still have a bit to catch up on. But no, so no worries. It's all good. This was Jack making his debut for Halloween. He looked real, so he really scared everyone, and they didn't want to come to the front porch. So yeah, and then my niece was wearing my table decoration on her head, which was really cute. So yeah, and I had decorated a bit differently that year. Of course, I got a new Snoopy because Matt loved Snoopy for Halloween that year. And then I had another Snoopy. Anyway, they were supposed to be dog toys, but I used them for the cats as cat toys. I even had a little Jack that sat in the Papasan with the owls because why not? This was our new table scape for Halloween in 2015. Lots and lots and lots of decorations. I was trying to take it back a little bit more classic, so there's just some black and white pumpkins that are rather fancy compared to what we had done. Lots and lots and lots and lots of new friends and pictures and whatnot. So let's see. Yeah, we used to love to cook, so I was trying to get back into that. So this is me. I had made rockin' paschetti, but I made it look like Mickey Mouse with the bread in the ears. And then I absolutely love cinnamon rolls, and I can't wait till my oven gets fixed. Anyway, those are homemade cinnamon rolls. And so, yeah, because I miss baking. And I had forgotten how beautiful those hardwood floors were in the cottage house in the JC. They're absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, yes, This was a shirt about Mr. Right, talking about Jesus, and it was timely gotten. So yeah, that was good. This was what it looked like feeding the girls back then. I actually had kid plates I fed them on. Feel free to laugh if you want to. The one, okay, so there's a Keurig. The red thing's a Keurig, but the black and silver thing is the Starbucks Verismo. Because I was a partner there, I could get it for a discount and get the pods for a discount. So we actually had both. We had a coffee pot, then we had the Keurig, and then we had the Starbucks Verismo. I know. And I also had the fancy machine I showed you earlier, the fancy espresso machine. So yeah, but what can I say? Barista. So, you know, had all the different ways to make the coffee. So yeah. Here's our old coffee pot. I cherished it. It was actually given to me by my late stepfather-in-law, Pat. And then Cafe Bustelo is on the side there. It's what they made Cubanos with. I love this. This is a Dalek Caffeinate. Anyway, I love the fact that there's Doctor Who scattered all through here. And I can't make it up. Like, it's there. Oh, I loved this mug. This is my favorite fall mug. It was a little fall owl. Anyway. So yeah, and then oh yeah, here's a picture. Yeah, here's a picture of our sugar maple to show you. This was 26th October 2015 to show you how much it had grown, because it had grown quite a bit. This is a different picture of it to see how full it is. Guys, you should have seen it when I finally left the house. Like, man, it was massive. And I'm sure it's even bigger now. I hope it's still there. They did remove some things from the yard, sadly, and my dad was all in tizzy about it. And I said, Dad, when you sell the house, you can't control what the new people do to it. But this was me on Halloween 2015, the TARDIS as the Doctor calling a show. So the TARDIS as the Doctor calling a show. It was quite fun. I put out a whole batch of candy before I left because I wasn't going to be there that night. And guys, I came back and all the candy was still there. I mean, like, hello. If I had been a kid and I'd come along, that candy would have just been chucked in the bag. And I'd have been like, all right, we can go home now. We're done. Anyway, that's just me. Oh, yes. I had since gotten a new license plate. And so I put my old plates along with the memorial star in the window in the office. And because you had to have an EMT there to renew the plate, and since Matt was the EMT, I wasn't able to. So each one of those little things where I had to say goodbye to something was like losing him again all over. I haven't seen these here, but they're so good. Anyway, this is Krispy Kreme. It is a pumpkin spice cake. Oh my goodness, guys. It was so good. It didn't even have to be fresh. Like, you just eat it cold like it was. This was his honorable discharge. Literally, this came 7th November 2012. He went home to be with Abba 7th December 2012. So I had it framed and matted, and I had it hung in the office in a place of prominence because I knew that that's what he would want. When I was in Israel, I got to go to the Holocaust Museum, and they had the Death of Peace. I had that framed and matted. That was also in our No Judgment in our loo, but it was a good place for it because you could stand in two different parts of the house and see it. And so now my roommate on that trip also got the same print, but she had hers framed and matted differently. I had gotten to go to the Iris show with Matt's mom and Pat, and so these were my irises coming up by the mailbox finally. It took them about a year to come up. Now, again, I don't know if they left them. We also had the green light on the front porch for Green Light Yvette. That was very important because our family's very military. I shared that with you guys this past time round. Again, for fall, I had gotten a new wreath. It was all real flowers. When they were first vibrant, you could use it for spring, and then they turned, and then I could use it for fall. And so it was quite lovely. Most of those pictures you've already seen, so I won't take you through that again. And plus, if you've been looking at any of our pictures that I've shared you know, for decoration. You've probably seen them already anyway, so I won't take you through that. And again, I took another picture of my e-tag because it was just sad to have to let it go. But it also at the same time was a little bit of a relief because I did feel kind of bad because I wasn't the one trained to help people. Oh yes, and also on 19th November 2015, Bojangles, which you guys wouldn't know about here, is a chicken place, they came up with Bojangles chicken emojis, and it was hilarious. And so anyway, and also for the people who weren't, because I was a rapid responder, for the people who weren't responding to my messages, I was like, please respond soon. Anyway, because I was just like, come on, because some people just, anyway. I love this. Friends become our chosen family. And then thankful for sweet friends like you. Oh yes, the tar. Get up, but why? It's Catterday. This little cat. Anyway, the next one's a TARDIS one. I love this. I am a time traveler, and tonight I will make most of you in the U.S. time travelers too. At 2 a.m., I will send you 1 hour into the future, or you might say I will spring you forward. Oh, you will have to change your own clocks. It's a little cat to remind you to spring forward. Anyway, it's the TARDIS cat. And I love it because again, these are all memories. I can't make this up. This is literally like this is here. I love there's so much Doctor Who sprinkled in. Oh, I tried this for the first time in Peru. It's panettone, and I love it because they have them here too. And like I'll never forget the first winter time I was here last year, and I was like, oh, they have panettone here too. I got so excited because it's so good. And then you've got tacos. You know, you've got to have the tacos. And I had to have all the sauce because those little bottles not last for Matt's because he loved spicy stuff. My spice tolerance was way high, and then it was way low. All the Christmas movies. Most of these are with me with the exception of Nightmare Before Christmas because I had watched it before I left. Horatio Hornblower, Matt loved that. That's not with me, sadly. But, oh yes, Bird's Custard, but the powder kind, because that's the only kind we could get in the States. And again, fish fingers and custard and jammy Dodgers. I must have been getting ready for something Doctor Who. 29th November 2015. Yes, and then, oh, here's me trying to heat up my custard, making custard in the microwave and making a mess. Oh my goodness, because, you know, girl couldn't be bothered to try to make it on the stove. But I must have gotten it made because there's my fish fingers and custard and my jammy Dodgers and I'm ready to go. So, with my beverage and my water. So, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, got to be parts of lots and lots of people's stories. Got invited to a lot of weddings. Oh, I love this. This is 5th December 2015, and this is Grizza, and she's got the hi-ya kick foot going, and I love it. And no, I didn't stage that picture, it just happened. So yeah, so this was 3 years at that point. And so yeah, you just really never know, you know? And so, just trying to, oh yeah, I got to be part of a living nativity. That was awesome. Found all of the Star Wars movies, part 1, 2, and 3 on sale, bonus. That was also December 2018. Also found a Star Wars Yoda hat, because, you know, why not? Also, we in the States, we had a thing called Bath and Body Works, and they would always put out seasonal soaps, and so I'd always get them so that we would have them. I love the smell of the soap, but I don't like how much they dry my skin out, so I tend to stick to Method now. But where's that? Yes, this is me at a Christmas party from the Women's Bible Study, 21st December 2015, with my Star Wars Yoda hat on, because, you know, why not? So yeah, and that was when I started wearing that little black sweater thing over. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it's really cold today, so I have my sweater on. But I've got my Snoopy shirt on today in honor of Matt because he loved Snoopy from Charlie Brown. And anyway, But it is really cold, so I have my bigger sweater on today. Even though we're inside and we do have the heat on, it's actually quite cold. But hopefully, Lord willing, on Saturday they'll sort that. Oh yes, breakfast burritos. I was famous for my breakfast burritos. So yeah. Again, new friends. Oh yes, very cute Christmas nails, I might add. Very, very cute Christmas nails. Because again, Matt always believed that you should be able to go get a mani-pedi. You should be able to get your hair done. You should be able to be pampered. You should be able to be taken care of. This was Matt's mom, Jeannie and Pat's Christmas tree, 24th December 2015. Very pretty. And so like I said, I would go spend Christmas Eve and Christmas with them for quite a bit of time. That was our spread. We would always snack on Christmas Eve and watch Christmas movies, and then we'd have a big Christmas breakfast on Christmas morning, and then we would get together and open our gifts, and we'd usually watch Polar Express. I was getting ideas for January. I was going to cosplay Brave, and those were Brave nails. So, yeah, because I always like to cosplay if I can. Oh, yes, I miss this. Chapstick is so hard to find here. Anyway, there's chapstick. Chapstick. Anyway. And it used to come in flavors. Oh, this is good, too. Little Debbie chocolate pie, y'all. Pie. Anyway. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I was reading Jesus Today at that point by Sarah Young. So Jesus Today. And then this is my Heaven by Randy Alcorn Perpetual Day calendar. That's a really good book, by the way. 3/4 of it is scripture, and only 1/4 is he's guessing. And where he's guessing, he's telling you he's guessing. So if you want to, find out what you can, that's a really good book. This was another idea for Brave nails. But I ended up doing the first one that I showed you. So these were my actual Brave nails. So I actually got them done. And then I had Brave toes to match. I don't feel the need to show you the toes though. The dress was handmade on Etsy, as were the boots, but unfortunately she made my boots about 1.5 inches too small, and they were handmade Renaissance leather boots, so there wasn't an option. Oh yeah, this was the 50th anniversary Dalek with Grizza behind it. And so there wasn't an option to be able to stretch them out. She was supposed to get me new boots or credit back anyway. This was my Tugger mug that my sister Crystal got me. Anyway, let's see. This is going into 2016. I'm trying to see. Somewhere there is a picture of that cosplay, but I haven't run into it yet, so it is what it is. So yeah, Brave nails, both hands together. Brave nails again, a different kind. I liked the first rendition better, but they were trying stamps on that. Oh yeah, fancy hair. The hair's all dead. Fancy hair. So, and it's normal color because what I discovered was, you didn't get to see it a few of the other colors that it was, but oh yes, there's the NSX. Oh, there she is. Anyway, you didn't get to see it different colors because I, didn't get all those pictures, obviously, but, oh no, see, that's just weird. There's a gap of pictures. What? What? Anyway, it doesn't make any sense because it won't let me delete them, because there are some pictures on here that I would love to delete, and it won't let me delete them. So that's very weird to me. But what I realized was I had to stop dyeing my hair crazy colors because we were taking it from natural, processing it, and then processing it, and it was frying it. So I finally got to a person who saw it and said, no, you need to stop and go back to natural colors and let your hair get healthy again. So that's what we did. Let's see. So, oh yeah. So this was fun. Easter nails. Yeah. So, well, yeah, right after Valentine's Day, but I knew it was going to be Easter. So, yeah. So, again, into 2016. Oh yes, I had gotten this little mug with two little hearts on it because it made me think of Matt and I for Valentine's Day. Oh yes, oranges. Sometimes people would leave me gifts at my tech booth. And so what did we do? We took it and we made a Phantom of the Opera mask out of it. Of course we did, because that's what you do. After we ate it and shared it, because it was massive, with like several people. There's an old school coffee mug. Love it. Oh yes. 11th March 2015, Ash Wednesday, literally with ashes and a cross on my forehead with one of our ute. So yeah, lots of crazy memories. Christmas and Easter plays, one of the scenes. Jesus, that was Tyler playing Jesus. The Last Supper, I was stage managing those shows, by the way. I know I haven't shown you a lot, but those I just felt led to show you. Tyler's a good guy. Oh yeah, this was that Quillen beer mug. Now that is not beer, it's pink drink from Plexus. But I had gotten those glasses in honor of Matt. I was able to finally go and get another Chicago deep dish. I hadn't had one since right before Matt passed away, so that was literally about almost 4 years later. Crazy Adventures with Youth. This was cool. This was what I was on before Plexus. Okay, this was 21st March 2016. That's all the stuff I was taking before Plexus, right? Plexus comes in, boom, that's all I was taking. Do you see the difference? And guys, this stuff really works. The only reason I stopped doing it was because it's so expensive. And I got to the place where financially I couldn't maintain it. But I'm really hoping and praying I'll be able to again. These are those little pre-made parfaits that came from Food City that I was telling you guys about. They're amazing. And they were cost effective, so why wouldn't you? These were amazing, like purple and red nails, and they were longer because you gotta keep the nails going. That was one of the things that he wanted. Oh yeah, so you can see it in that picture. I've got my purity ring on in that picture, and of course all the bracelets, because there's always been bracelets. You gotta have a bracelet. And this was the day that, oh yeah, was this the day? This was the day we took H.G. Wells to go be with her new family. So, yeah, but it was a good thing. Again, hairs did. Crazy hairs did. Hairs. So, anyway. I know some people would say, why color it, or why curl it, but it's a different kind of curl. Crazy Adventures out to Bays Mountain. And again, this is still 2016. A big significant thing that happened in 2016 that's coming up. Yeah, another trip. Another one of those trips. Oh yeah, I had my my Bose speaker, my red one. Ended up, I think, either selling it or giving it to somebody. One of my favorite pictures from that trip was the cross for Easter, out in the middle of nowhere. It was absolutely gorgeous. I took a lot of pictures on that trip. Of course, when have I not taken a lot of pictures, to be fair? This is one of my favorite pictures of my sister and I at my wedding. My sister Lisa and I. And then before that, just a picture of me on the side of the road with the sweater. So, the classic sweater. Where were we? I'm trying to think. Oh, I don't even know. Klingman's Dome? Anyway, I don't even know. Somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, getting past all that. Yeah. I would always see things that remind me of other people, and I'd snap pictures. Oh, yeah. Grizza loved this. This was Catsup. This was Grizza's, and it's got my name on it because it had to go. With her to where she needed to go. This was a picture that we had taken. Matt was pretending to be drunk and passed out on the couch. That's back when we both still drank, but he really wasn't. But he was just being funny. Oh, bless. Pictures of little Uno bun. Oh, anyway. Oh, yeah, that was the shirt we made to when I was an intern that we wore to embarrass my friend Jacob. That was an intern under. There was another picture on the back that was just as equally as embarrassing. Oh, yes, Vincent van Gogh does Batman, because why not? This was a picture of my mom and I for Mother's Day when I was in high school. So that one just randomly popped up there. Oh, yes. We used to have this amazing creamer in the States called Natural Bliss, and it was from Coffee Mate, and it was sweet cream. Oh, my goodness, it was so good. And they had it in all the different forms for anybody who had an allergy. Oh, it's the best stuff in the world. But we cannot get it to you. So, I had gotten a new set of pencils and a new book to color. That was 11th May 2016. That was my Mom's Day gift from my girl cats, if you will. I shared this earlier, but some people are on now that weren't then, so I want to share it again. This was a picture of a picture that I got to hang on the wall. Life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And the author on that was Anon E. Mouse. And so, oh yeah, this was part of the movie theater pictures in the living room, but I love Charlie Chaplin and I love the kid. And so on the left, underneath that, I had Chaplin, and then on the right, I had the old Titanic metal framed picture. And yeah, so love it. I had a dill pickle that was fried and it had a face in it. So, you know, randomness. 23rd May 2016. Ah, yes. Always tell the truth. Use kind words. Keep your promises. Giggle and laugh. Stay happy and be positive. Love one another. Always be grateful. Forgiveness is mandatory. Give thanks for everything. Try new things. Say please and thank you and smile. That was one of those family rules signs. That was when we finally tried. We finally tried that place in the JC. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I can't think of the name of it right now. Oh, and we tried bubble tea for the first time. Bubble tea. Anybody ever have bubble tea? It's actually quite tasty. It's looking really weird outside right now. Can I just say that? Like, what is happening? It's like pink. I don't know. Anyway, it's only 4:03, but like it's like pink. Anyway, I don't know. Anywho, adventures to yeah, different places with friends and peeps. Oh yes, BB-8. You can control him with your phone. It was really hard not to get one. I really wanted to. Yeah, and again, pictures, you know, watching somebody color at the iStore. You know, I don't have the patience to do it myself, but I loved watching it. You know, I took this snap because it reminded me of Matt, because he loved to grill, and he would have absolutely loved that grill. So yeah, lots and lots of, I think that was a birthday celebration for one of our youth. And anyway, concerts and events. Yeah, this is getting close to the event that. Oh yeah, my dad's friend had sketched this. It was a sketch, a pencil drawing of Jesus praying, and I had it framed and matted. That was in the loo, also in the downstairs bathroom in the JC. So getting to a really sad and difficult moment. Oh yeah, these washers and dryers and stands, Matt and I got them together when we were just dating. You talk about commitment, buying appliances together. Yeah, anyway, because the ones in the apartment sound like they were walking across the floor. And I, you know, and this is one of those where you put the scripture verses on the mirror to help yourself get through the day. It works, guys. And again, this was 9th June 2016. our rock that Glenda painted that said Matt and Carla, and still his shoes outside that he used to use to mow the yard. That's almost 4 years at that point, and they were still sat there. Yeah. So anyway, going into a very sad thing that happened, that ended up happening. Anyway, I got to be a counselor at camp that summer, and this was our little project that we did. And this was hard because she was not well before we went to camp. I ended up having to take Grizza to the emergency pet advocate in Roan Mountain, and then go be a counselor for a week, even though she wasn't well. And when I got back, I brought her back with us. She was able to spend a day with us, but then that next morning, this was her home that night on the 25th of June, 2016, and on the next day, she started having really bad seizures, and she's still alive in this picture, so don't think that she's not, but this was her on the front porch with me wrapped up in a towel. My friend Cindy came and got me, and we took her, and the lady said, she was 16. She said the most humane thing for you to do is going to be to say your goodbyes and go ahead and put her down, because she was going to have to stay in the cage, hooked up to all that stuff, and that was no life, and she was going to continue to have seizures, and they couldn't figure out why. And so I'd always told her she had to be my forever girl. I always told her she was my forever girl, and she was trying to be. She was trying to be. And so on what would have been Matt's and I's 6th wedding anniversary on 26 June 2010, 2016, she crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And I know on the other side waiting for her was not only Jesus, but also her cat daddy, Matt. So I got back home, and that was hard because empty plates, no Grizza. I was a huge fan of Twilight, and Matt's mom had gotten us the bedding from Twilight from Bed Bath & Beyond, and had gotten cat stairs for Grizza because she was having trouble getting up to the bed. And so this is that picture of Grizza, but also a picture of Matt, but I have laid Matt's picture down to put Grizza's picture up, but Grizza's picture, that picture, she is actually here with me. And thankfully Abba told me to bring her ashes along with us as well, because I didn't know at the time that I wasn't going to get to bring everything across the pond. This was the cat tree that we had picked out that Christmas for her back in 2012 at PetSmart, so I went and got it even though it was a bit wonky. She had scratched it and loved it. This was his green camo. I finally decided to start donating some stuff. This was his navy jacket with his Bailey patches on it. I did ask everybody in the family if they wanted anything first, so don't think that I didn't. This was all like his cap, his belts, and his insignia and everything like that. His shoes, his dress shoes, his navy outfits, and his navy camo that goes underneath, his khaki navy outfits. But what I did was, and God love her heart, she's since passed, but I went and donated them to the ministry I was at the time at the theater, and so they could use them in the wardrobe department. And then that year for my birthday, you guys know this picture, was when Matt's mom got me the Beautiful Word journaling Bible. We went to Main Street Pizza in Kingsport, had an amazing dinner. Yeah, all you need is a little bit of coffee and a whole lot of Jesus. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it out to completion until the day of Christ Jesus, Philippians 1:6. I had a birthday cannoli, because who needs cake when you can have cannoli? And then my art collection got added to. So this was more things from my art collection, which got added to. And a lot of that came from Jeannie to go with the journaling Bibles. That was very, very sweet of her. And so I didn't get to go pick up Griz's ashes until 6 July 2016. That was very hard. They had a little bag waiting for me. There was a little poem inside the box. Then they had done a paw print of her for me, which is also with me. Donna, thanks for tuning in. This is her little box.